Hey, what's up, my, you know, uh, to this YouTube, uh, Facebook pages. Um, sorry. It's kind of annoying, like when you have that, like, this skin on your lip. That's annoying. Anyway, I told you guys I was gonna make another video, based upon the game systems and, based upon my friendships and stuff like that. Um, Yesterday, I went a little crazy, I admit, because it does get on my nerves that parents actually do the things that they do. Um, which I understand some of them do for a good cause, but some of them do it just to. I know some of them do it to like prove a point, but there's no way in hell you should just give your daughter or your son a device, anything electronic, and you know that it dials numbers, or you know that it gets on the internet, and you give it to them and tell them to get out your face. Like, that's just freaking ridiculous. That's just something I'm not going to understand why some people do. But people are people, and that's the only way I can leave it. For some of you who are new, and who don't know me, my name is Brittany Tucker. I am 21 years old. I live in Pittsburgh, PA. You may have heard a lot of horrible things about Pittsburgh, things like that. You may have heard it was boring, stuff like that. But there is a lot of adventure here. If you actually come to the city, like, it's a lot of adventure. Like I was telling you guys in the last video, if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. Like I told you guys in the last video, me and my fiance are going to New York for Gay Pride, and I'm also going to record us at Pittsburgh's Gay Pride as well. I want to go to Ohio's Gay Pride because I heard that's like the biggest Gay Pride ever, but we're not gonna get a chance to go to that because her family lives out there, and it's just a lot of stuff. Anyway, back to the topic that I was going to talk about, which is the consoles that I told you guys in the last video. Like I said, if you guys didn't watch the last video, go and watch it. Oh yeah, also, like, you can get in contact with me through my Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram. You could just look for me by name, like literally just by my name. Brittany Tucker, Brittany, Tucker, Tucker. Okay. So, about these gaming consoles, was the Xbox 360, even Xbox, PlayStation 3 to 4. I think 2 has I think PlayStation 2 has browser too. But, look, about these consoles, period. You have to watch your kids as well on these consoles. There are perverts, there are predators, there are people out to get little kids just because they went through something tragic in their life and they think it's normal, or they're like literally psycho in the head, or like there's something wrong with them, like mentally, maybe even physically, because it happened to them, and some of them are just not there, so they do it to little kids. They think little kids are sexy. They think they're pretty stuff. I'm see. Thing is, this pedophile shit. Like, you're not gonna be able to wrap your hand or your finger around it because it's so sick. Like, it's sick. It's tragic, and it is sick. It's you're being a victim to, it's either someone or like someone who's being nice to you, and when you grow up you learn to like not really trust people, which is sad because it happened to you as a child, and it's sad. Like, it either happened to you as a child or a grown adult or a teenager, and you learn to like not trust everyone, and like some of them they get PTSD, and it's just sick and it's sad, you know. I'm sorry, I'm really not big on talking about rapists or pedophile. um I am a victim myself. um Except mine was like through my like it was like my family, but they were like friends of my mom and my dad, and it was their kids. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. Not really gonna go into detail. It's kind of still wary with me. I've learned to forgive and not forget. I moved past it, you know, and anyone who's watching this part of the video, I hope you learn to move past it as well. And God is with you every step you take. About the consoles, I already said what I said about the consoles. Like that thing, like that stuff can happen as well. I just didn't have enough time in the other video because it was already long and I didn't want to make it any longer. So, yeah. What the next topic I was gonna tell you about was the friends part. I have watched a lot of videos like on fake friends, or friends who really aren't your friends, or you know, family who's really not your family, stuff like that. And a lot of them came across, you know, points that I was actually going through at the time. And this wasn't even too long ago. This was probably like a few months ago, maybe a month ago. I had ended a 15, 16, maybe 17 year, no, like 15, 16 year friendship, because it didn't, like, it's like every relationship I got into, they weren't happy, and everything I achieved or did, they weren't happy. Like, they pretended like they were happy. Like, me being blind by it for so long because you want to believe that that person is not trying to hurt you or not trying to be bitter, but come to find out that's how they are. Like, that's how their true character is. Like, they're jealous, and jealous is a really, really ugly word. And them being the way they were, it just brought out another side of me. Like, it made me stronger. And me being with my fiance had shown me that all your friends, like friends, some friends aren't your friends. Like the ones that stick by you no matter what, no matter how many arguments y'all get into, no matter how many like fights, I mean anything, like it doesn't matter. Like, friends go through things just like relationships go through things. Like, that's how you know if you have true friends or not, because every time y'all go through something, they instantly like 2-3 times, like they give up eventually. And last text I've received, well, not received, was a goodbye, because I had told them that they have never done anything for me. They left me in the dust. I'm not gonna lie. They acted like they cared about me when they really didn't. Because every subject I brought up about me being depressed or something like that, it's oh, you'll get through it. You know what you're doing. I don't know what to say. And I'm all like, okay, because I've been through it, that doesn't mean I don't want you to just listen. Like, I want to vent too. Like, I mean, everybody talks shit on everybody. Everybody was fake at one point. Everybody, you know, does something like that's related to drama at a point. And me personally, I had to learn to grow up, even like at this age now. Like, I still like, I don't fight, I don't argue. I will sit there and act like I really can't hear you, and I'll just sit there and stare at you. So, and my fiance even told me, like, it gets annoying because, but she said she likes the fact that I don't conflict with because it just makes the situation worse. And I've grown up around that with my brothers, and the only thing they did was like they argued, then they fight, and then glass be everywhere, chairs be everywhere, something be broken, and it's just a whole big ass mess. But I mean, people who's actually, like actually been through something like that, like they're pretty sure they'll understand where I'm coming from. Like I was talking about my friend, it was a traumatic thing. Like it wasn't good. My feelings were hurt ever since like he first did it. And I mean, I was happy, but I was happy for us to be friends again, but I wasn't happy at the fact that I was treated like shit, and the fact that he told other friends that I had to come to him like a man. But one, I'm not a man. So like he told me, like, if I had a problem, well, he didn't tell me, but he told a friend to tell me, he told a friend, and a friend told me that if I had a problem with him, I should have came to him as a, like, like a man, like, face to face. But when he talks about me, he never comes to me face to face. He's always smiling in my face. He always tells me, like, he lied to my fiance and told her that they were friends. And every time I went to his house, I'm like, yeah, me and her I got mad at her and I was talking shit, and I told her, and he told me, oh yeah, I don't like her, stuff like that. And I'm like, well, that's between you two. I'm talking about me and her right now. And I was like, yeah, I told him, like, like, I understand, but the inside of me is like, well, maybe, like, you shouldn't have told him, because now he's either going to run his mouth to his family, or he's going to go and do some weird shit. It was a lot of things, and I wasn't ready for, like, the disappointment in it, but it had happened again, like, not too long ago, like, a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. Like, he asked me, why do I care so much, and why do it affect me so much, and he tried everything in his power to make me happy, but he's tired of it. And I told him, I was like, I never asked you for anything in return. Like, I never, like I said, like, I never asked you for anything. I've never, like, I've never cut off he also told me, like, I cut him off, I shut him out. And thing was, he never texted or he never called me. So it was like, I had to text him, I had to call him to ask him to hang out. Like, I would ask him to hang out sometimes, and he would go with his sisters. And I'm like, but you was just mad at him not too long ago, now you're going out with them. Or he'll be like, I'm at my parents' house or something like that. And he wouldn't hang out with me unless it was relevant to him. Like, that's how I seen it, because if he didn't see it that way, like, there must be something wrong, because, like, he didn't hang out with me unless, like, either he didn't hang out with me unless it was relevant to him. Like I said, like, there's not another way I can really explain it, because, like, honestly, you had to be there in person to actually see it. But in my eyes, it's like, he didn't hang out with me unless it was relevant. And he always told me that, thing is, we both have housekeeping jobs. His is at a hotel, mine's is at a hospital. And we both work, we both work like 5 hours. Maybe he works 8 hours. I'm not 100% sure. But I know he works in the morning to afternoon. And I work in the evening. So I work from 5:30 to 10:30. We both have the same job, and we both don't work that long. And he always, like sometimes, like, he'll tell me, like, oh, I'm tired, stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, we have the same damn job. I was like, okay, I understand both of us may have different body effects, but we have the same damn job. And as far as I know, like every time I went over his house, all he did was go home, go to sleep. I mean, I understand that because you need a nap. Um, Wake up, watch TV, and play the video game. And he would always say, "Oh, I'm bored and I'm lonely, and I don't no girl likes me and stuff like." And it was just a whole bunch of stuff like. And well, this video is gonna be long too, so you guys should actually expect that. Um, it was just like a whole bunch of riffraff, you know, like it was like a lie in between, like something he wasn't telling me that was wrong. And every time I would ask him what's wrong, he would always say, "Oh, it's my parents or it's my sisters." And I'm all like, "Well, like what happened?" I wouldn't tell nobody about his business or anything. Like I wouldn't even tell my own fiance. Like whatever you tell me, I'm keeping it to my damn self. Not unless you piss me off. I mean, if it's something like really personal, I'm not gonna tell nobody. But if you piss me off enough to where someone comes back and tell me that you're talking about me, then I can be that petty person too, but I choose not to be. Like I said, yeah, I talk shit on a lot of people, but that doesn't mean I'm fake. It means in a point of time I got pissed off because people think that when you're their friend or like you've been friends for so long, you're not supposed to talk about them. You're not supposed to say things about them. But they could say shit about you and do shit to you to hurt your feelings. But at the end of the day, it's like you still have to care about them. When they tell you you don't have to, but at the end of like that, like that's how it really is. Like they tell you, "Oh, like you still care about me, right?" Basically, like that's what they're saying. Like you can't live without me. Like that's what they're saying. And you have to look at them pointers right there. Like, is this shit real or are you playing with my feelings or? And at that point, like that's what I was feeling. I'm like, are you playing with my feelings right now? Because it seemed like you don't really want to be around me. You never call, you never text, and that's how it was. Like throughout our friendship, like if I didn't call him or text him, I never got a response. So he never called and asked, "Oh, are you okay? I'm calling to check up on you." And I was depressed from it because I thought he didn't like me. And when I told him I thought he didn't like me, he asked me, "Why do I care so much?" I care about people that are part of my life. I am concerned about people that are part of my life. I know I shouldn't worry. I shouldn't make their problems my problems. But if we're friends, yeah, your problems are my problems because we're friends. And I don't want anything to happen to you in any circumstance. Yeah, I know it's a risk and it's not none of my business. But if I'm standing here with you and I'm trying to be a friend, then why push me away so you won't have nobody? And then you go up on social media and you say, "Oh, I don't have anyone." But yet you had a few people over here the whole time trying to help. And honestly, my message to the world about this story, this little confused story that I told you about was look at the signs. Look at what's actually in front of you. Let your feelings come out. Don't hold them in. Let your feeling, if you're feeling some type of way, and if they're treating you some type of way, you need to tell them. Don't hold it in. Don't frustrate yourself. Don't be fake towards yourself. Be you. And there's nothing wrong with being you. Like I said, I'm gonna make another video about that, about being yourself, because I've been through tragic things in that too. So I'm gonna end this video before it gets to 20 minutes. Alright, y'all, look, my name is Brittany Tucker, and I'm glad you guys watched this video. Like, comment, subscribe. If you want me to make any other videos, like coming out stories or any advice stories, just let me know. Or even message me. I have a Gmail, B as in my name, Brittany, Tucker, Tucker, 296 at gmail.com. So you can even email me. I also have another email. It's brittany.tucker778 dot well, yeah, no, not dot, but 78 yahoo.com. So yeah, so definitely, like, email me, or well, I tried the 20 minutes, but it didn't work. I talk too much, I understand. All right, people, peace.